Channels EOS San Diego. We are April 20th, 5 o'clock in the afternoon here on the West Coast. And I want to talk a little bit today about Dan Larimer, Mr. Dan Larimer. And I'd like to talk about the thing. I'd like to address the thing. Everybody, I think, it's like the 500-pound gorilla in the room. Is Dan really good for EOS today? Is Dan going to help EOS right now, or is Dan actually a negative for EOS? And I want to talk about that a little bit. I want to make that kind of the subject of this video. So if you have any input on that question, I'm going to put the comment section open so anybody wants to leave a comment, and let's get to talking about this. So, because when I see headlines like this, I get a little concerned. When I see something like, let me change my screen so you can see what I'm looking at. When I see someone just joined, thanks, appreciate that. When I see headlines like this, I get just a little bit concerned. EOS creator Dan Larimer is back. After the developer left Block 1 last year, the network's new stewards are hoping to spark an EOS renaissance. So, Dan Larimer, after being a serial, I guess what they call a serial entrepreneur, I think that's what they referred to him here in the article, is coming back and coming back in a certain way. I guess with the Mandela hard fork. Now I don't know if Mandela's necessarily a hard fork from Block 1, or if it's just some network upgrades and some things that need to be done. And I don't even know how much Dan is participating with some of this or not. I know originally a lot of the code that was written by other people besides Dan. Dan wasn't the guy that was writing the code. Some other people were. Dan was just kind of directing the code. So I don't really know how much Dan actually participates in this code writing to the extent that he participates in it, or is he just kind of lending his direction, or giving some direction to this. So, but anyway, let's talk about Dan Larimer a little bit, because Dan kind of represents a little bit of the last 3 years with Block 1. And of course, when Block 1 totally ran off with the money, now they're doing, the bullish exchange, and they've just totally basically worked over, screwed everybody that got involved with EOS early on. A lot of people lost a lot of money. I've done this YouTube channel for a number of years. I've listened to many people talk about their losses with Block 1 and how they basically don't want to have anything to do with EOS, completely over EOS, and don't want to ever have anything to do with it again. And if we really want to get a new start, and we want to get a start that I think we deserve, especially now that the foundation has gotten control of the chain, and the foundation is doing some amazing things. I was on the call today on the Discord call with the foundation, with the people in the foundation. And if you really want to hear some great information, some stuff that really should be moving this market for the EOS blockchain, that should be moving us up into back up into the top 10 of market cap coins, this call would be something that people should be listening to, because this is really getting us where we need to go. It's getting us back to where we should be. And to bring Dan Larimer back to the game and kind of put him back as the person that is the face of EOS, I think is a huge mistake. And that's what this is about. This is about, do we want to bring back a guy that gave a lot of broken promises, a guy that said he wouldn't leave when he left, a guy that said, I really didn't have any way of doing much because my hands were controlled by the Security and Exchange Commission. It was all those bad Block 1 guys. Those were the guys that were the problem. I was the good guy, and they made me, they kind of kept me from doing anything, even though he really is the technology guy behind this blockchain. You can't really put it on Brock Pierce. You can't really put it on Brendan Bloomer. You can't put it on those guys. They're not technical guys. Block 1 was really Dan Larimer. Dan Larimer was the technical person. And he was the person that was directing a lot of the ideas and making a lot of the decisions. So if you want to in my mind, if you want to blame somebody about the bad experience with Block One, you have to put Dan Larimer in that group of people that didn't do what they were supposed to do. And if Larimer wants to hide behind the Security and Exchange Commission, that just shows that his leadership qualities aren't that great, that his leadership skills aren't that great. We already know that he has a little bit of problem interacting with people, a little bit of problem with communication, a little bit about he doesn't really want to, it's either my way or the highway as far as Dan's concerned. You do it my way or you don't do it at all. He is very stiff on the way he thinks about things, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness and all the other things he always says. He's pretty stiff about a lot of stuff he says. He's not very open to people exchanging ideas and stuff like that. He's got a pretty stiff way of working with people and dealing with people. And, if you want to think about it in that way, that he was constrained by the Security and Exchange Commission, just think of a guy like Elon Musk. I mean, look at Elon Musk. Elon Musk has been under Security and Exchange Commission rules and regulations. He goes on Joe Rogan and smokes a marijuana cigarette. Why? He's ahead of a publicly traded company, a number of publicly traded companies. When up in Alameda County, they want to shut down his plant, what does Elon Musk do? He goes up there and says, look, I'm going to be there Monday morning, bright and early, Tuesday morning, whatever day it was. If you're going to arrest somebody, arrest me. I'll be the first person to be arrested if anybody goes to jail because we're violating COVID restrictions as far as operation of this plant. Elon Musk took responsibility, and he stood he stood his ground despite Security and Exchange Commission rules and regulations and saber rattling. He was a leader. Now, we never have had that kind of leadership from Dan Larimer. Dan Larimer did just exactly the opposite. Dan Larimer ran away from everything. He always blamed everybody else. He always said, I couldn't do what I really wanted to do, even though, I wanted to do this, I wanted to do that. I couldn't because everybody was keeping me from doing it. And I had to finally leave because it just got so awful. Now, that isn't the kind of leadership people are looking for. That's not the kind of leadership Elon Musk has been giving to the people that invest in his companies. So do we really want a guy like Dan Larimer to lead us on? Do we want Dan Larimer to be the face of EOS now that the foundation has finally got control of this blockchain? And I think that's the discussion we need to have. And I think that's the discussion people need to think about. I myself, had my reaching out to Dan Larimer to try to talk to Dan Larimer, try to get Dan Larimer to get on his channel and talk to him. And I want to if Dan Larimer would ever come on his channel, I would ask him a few questions. What do you got to say to all the people that lost most of the money that they ever put into EOS? How do you respond to that? Are you just going to say it's because of, the Security Exchange Commission wouldn't let you do anything? Are you going to blame it on that? Or are you going to take some responsibility from it? As far as what I see, he never's taken any responsibility for any of it. Now he wants to re-inject himself into what's going on now, which is very positive with the foundation. So do we really want Dan Larimer as the face of EOS going forward? When I see, the article I just showed you where Dan's back, everything's good. We've got a great new blockchain here with Dan Larimer. No, we don't. We got the same Dan Larimer that gave us 4 years of disaster. And now with the Mendel fork, should we be forking for Dan Larimer, or should we be, using Dan Larimer and his ideas and stuff? I don't know, to tell you the truth, how much Dan Larimer really has hands on this chain or not, or what he does or doesn't do. Now, I also know that when, most of the code was being written, it was written by a guy by the name of Kevin Heifner. I talked to Kevin quite a few times. And there were times when we were using some of the same developers Block One were using. We used a developer by the name of Randy Torres. He was actually working for Block One while he was working for us. So we got an opportunity to know some of the inside stories of what was going on with Block One at the time. And I can tell you that Dan Larimer isn't always the guy writing the code. Dan Larimer isn't always the guy that's making all the decisions. Dan Larimer, a lot of time, was removed from a lot of this stuff by his own actions, by what, this is the way Dan Larimer operated. Now I'm getting all this stuff secondhand, so it may be right, may be wrong. I don't know. This is the stuff that I was listening to and hearing. So I don't know. I don't know what to make of Dan Larimer. And like I say, he's never, ever interacted, even though we talked to him face-to-face at the hackathon up in San Francisco. And like I said, new developer that was working with him, we were working with him at the same time. I know Dan Larimer knows who we are. He's ignored us. He's never talked to us. He's never ever acknowledged us, even though we are running his software for our own application, the challenge application. We're running Dan's software, and every time our name comes up with Dan Larimer, he rolls his eyes and he acts like he's the most irritated guy in the world, which is fine. I'm not looking for Dan Larimer to appreciate us, to acknowledge us. He doesn't have to say anything to us. But I would think if Dan wants to be a team player and he wants to be a part of this new, thing that we're running, the foundation where Yves LaRose finally wrestled away enough of the block producers to get something set up so that there's some independence from block one. If he wants to be a part of that, fine. But be a part of it like all the rest of us are a part of it. Don't come in and be the face of EOS all over again. I think we need a new face for EOS. They're talking about rebranding EOS. We need somebody new to be the head of EOS. We need somebody new to be the face of EOS. At this point in time, I would say a good person to be the face of EOS would be Yves LaRose from EOS, formerly of EOS Nation. I would think he's a great person to be the new face of EOS. If we want to rebrand it and we want to have a new person being the person leading us, I think it should be Yves LaRose, not Dan Larimer. I think Dan Larimer just brings back a lot of the same stuff that we had in the last 3 or 4 years, a lot of the ugliness that we don't want to deal with. And I don't want to hear about the fact the Security and Exchange Commission kept him from doing the things he wanted to do. He was the technical guy. He was the guy that was in charge of this thing. He should have been able to give back to some of the developers that were working on this chain at the time, like us. He should have been able to acknowledge some of the people that were running the software, like we were. He should have been able to absorb some of the frustrations that so many people had with EOS during this time. And he did none of that. He did absolutely none of that. Now he wants to come back in as, the new direction for EOS. Not to mention that there probably is a cause of action against Block 1 by the token holders. And how does Dan stand in this? I mean, does Dan come in and kind of be a little bit of a, I'm still in EOS, I'm still in the foundation with the foundation, but then again, do I support a possible litigation, a possible lawsuit against, I might be named as one of the parties. If the foundation or somebody within EOS token holders decide to have a class action suit against Block 1 and name Dan Larimer as one of the defendants, is there a conflict of interest there? Do we need to have that problem? Do we need to have Dan as the face of the new EOS, the foundation EOS, but then still be the person that we're trying to hold responsible for all the 4 years of disintegration of $4 billion and now all this money being diverted to bullish, and nobody's accountable for all this. So this way of being kind of on both sides of the both sides is not going to fare well for the future of EOS. We need to make a decision as a community, who we want leading this new EOS, if we even want to call it EOS. Do we want Dan Larimer to be the face of it, like they're trying to do with Cointelegraph and some of these other articles being written? Dan is back. Dan is back. Like we all should be all really happy Dan is back. Or should we say, no, Dan is represented what happened over the last 4 years. Poor leadership, poor marketing. We don't know. It wasn't good. Nothing was good about it. I was on the call today. It was a great call. The EVM, dealing with the EVM, having some interaction with Ethereum, getting EOS and Ethereum to work together would be amazing. Zach Gall, who has been with this everything EOS for since the beginning, gave a tremendous account of what's going on today with EOS and the foundation. It really is amazing stuff. And if anybody wants to be paying attention right now, looking at the price of EOS, I'm pretty excited because I think EOS has got some tremendous tremendous upside potential right now. It's traded low for so long, but we need a separation from the past, and we need to have a new start. And EOS Nation, Eva LaRose, EOS Asia, some of these block producers that didn't get wealthy from the block one $4 billion payday, that are still hungry, that are trying to put stuff together, that are taking the lead and making this blockchain innovative, and have learned from all the past mistakes. We've got all the tools. We've got everything we need. We just need people that are hungry to go out and do it, and people that are workable, and people that want to have some life into this. That's what we need. We don't need to go back to what we were before. We don't need to go back to the frustrations and the long periods of time where no information was being released. Nobody said anything. Nobody talked. And then now we understand it was because of all these agreements they had made. We don't even know if they were agreements or not. We don't know if there was security and exchange, times where they were not allowed to speak on the negotiations with the Security and Exchange. I don't know if that was the case. That's what they say, but I don't know if that was the case or not. So yeah, we really need new direction. And I don't think Dan Larimer is that way of direction. Does Dan Larimer need to be a part of this blockchain at this point in the game? I don't really know. But I know one thing. I'm not saying he doesn't need to be a part of it, but I would hope that he wouldn't be the face of the new EOS, the face of the new direction that we're taking. I'd rather see somebody else take that position. Somebody else that hasn't muddied up the waters like Dan Larimer has. Dan's not, you look at a guy like Vitalik, Ethereum. He has qualities that are very, I would say appealing. Almost like a boyish kind of way about him. He doesn't seem to be very, he seems to be very likable, open. You trust him. Those are the things I feel like when I see Vitalik. Brilliant in the way he thinks, the way he talks. Like I say, kind of almost like an innocence about him that makes him very appealing. And that's been a very, very good thing for Ethereum. It's driven Ethereum to be a great investment, a lot better investment than EOS. Then you look at a guy like I say, Elon Musk, who is, a leader, somebody that's not afraid to stand up to the Security and Exchange Commission, somebody that's not afraid to stand up to the rules and regulations, somebody that's not afraid to stand up to Alameda County up in San Francisco and say, the bureaucrats are trying to shut down my operation, and I'm not going to let them shut it down. I'm not going to let them ruin what I've built. I'm not going to let them destroy the jobs here that I've created in San Francisco. And you know what? I'm going to move it to Austin, Texas. And it sounds like he's moved quite a bit of it to Austin, Texas. He's got leadership qualities. And, you see what he's done with that. He's taken, he's built some crazy stuff. He's SpaceX and the tunnel company, the boring company, and the electric car. All these things, these amazing things he's done because he's a leader. He doesn't let other things stop him. He doesn't let bureaucrats get in his way. He doesn't let the people that control the rules and regulations for the Securities and Exchange Commission, because he's a head of a company. He doesn't let those things stop him. He goes forward. All these qualities is what we're looking for. We're looking for leadership, somebody that can speak and speak with some clarity, somebody that can take responsibility, somebody that can push this thing forward, somebody that can move and not be scared, not somebody that's going to blame, or not somebody that's going to be rigid and hard to deal with and stuff like that. These are all the things I don't think Dan came through very well with. So, no, I don't think Dan should be the new leader or the new face for EOS. And like I say, right now, if I had to make a selection, it'd be Eva LaRose. So of EOS Nation, he would be my choice for somebody to be the new face of EOS, because he has, to this point, gotten things back on track. And I know the average person that's just in the background, that's just watching what's going on in Twitter and maybe hearing a little information here and there. They just don't see the inner workings of what's going on with EOS. And even myself have kind of fallen behind on some of the information, some of the latest information with EOS, because, it does get a little frustrating when all you hear is, people telling you how terrible EOS is and how it's fallen behind so far. And when you look at it and it's number 52 or 53 in market cap, when, you have other projects that have just overtaken EOS and, get all the attention, get all the media, get all the hype. Yeah, it's pretty tough to get excited about EOS on a daily basis, to make videos all the time. And to be somebody that's real, gung-ho and full of energy and, hard charged for this stuff. But these last few calls on Discord with the Fireside Chat and with the Pamela Grant, which is up on Saturday. So keep in mind, Pamela Grants are up on Saturday. I'm going to put the link below. Please help out EOS San Diego. That's me. That's who I am. I've got a Pamela Grant out. My son Chase, who we run the challenge application, we have a couple grants out. Please remember us in those grants, because that helps keep us going. And this is something that the foundation has done. This is something that the foundation is working on. These are the things we need to have worked on. Dan, in the last 4 years, didn't do anything like that. He didn't do anything to help the developers. He did nothing. In fact, if anything, he totally ignored us, didn't even acknowledge us, even though we were trying to put meaning to his work. We were building using his software. We were making his software real world software, world stuff people were using. So I would think he would at least, acknowledge somebody like that. But he wouldn't. He didn't. He never has. He just totally absorbed with his own ideas and his own whatever he's working on. Everybody else doesn't exist as far as he's concerned. And I don't think that's the kind of person that should be leading EOS right now. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that. That's like the 500-pound gorilla in the room. Is Dan Larimer good for EOS right now, or is he bad for EOS? I'm not saying that he's bad, but I'm saying he should not be, the face of the organization. And if we go down that direction, I think it's not gonna look good in a few years. You just don't do it. You don't make those same mistakes over again. We need a new face for EOS, if not a new name, and maybe new branding. It just depends. Could be, but at this point, in my feelings about it, from what I'm hearing from the foundation, I'm 100% in support of the foundation, 100% in support of what they're doing and the direction they're taking. And if you want to join on, if you want to start listening to the calls, they're usually recorded and then replayed back on YouTube. Everything EOS, I think, is one of the channels. Yves LaRose, I think he has a rant every now and then. Good place to start listening and start paying attention, because we're setting at a pretty cheap price with EOS right now. Let me take a look at where EOS is setting right now, but it's setting at a very good price for anybody that wants to get involved at this level. You can make a pretty fast appreciation. Not investment advice, as they always say, but it would definitely be something to be on my radar. So, Bitcoin's up a little bit right now. We'll see where EOS is at. EOS is, we're up a little bit, $2.73. Let's just, for the heck of it, see where challenge is at. CHO. We're having a good day too. So things are up for the EOS blockchain. And go to Pamela here. Here's the grants. So I don't know how many. I think they said there was over 100 grants. And pick a grant. Support one of these grants. Stay involved. Here we are. This is me, 900 and actually what I'm getting keeps going down every day. I got to quit looking at it. I get more contributors and less money. EOS San Diego, now down below $1,000. So gosh, please help if you can. Price of EOS right now, one EOS token is $2.73. I said EOS. For $2.73, you could help me out a lot just by doing that. So please take a look at all this stuff. Get involved. I think EOS has a lot of things going for it right now. A lot of things. And most of all, the foundation and people like the guys that are up in Canada EOS Nation guys, Zach Gall. Zach Gall's put a lot of work into this. In fact, I think he's one of the contributors to this article. I listened to some of this stuff, and I hope they put that up on YouTube so other people can listen to it if you missed it. A lot of work's being done right now, and of course, it's they've got some really innovative stuff going on, and I'd hate to see it all ruined because nobody wants to let go of the past, because we still have Dan Larimer as the guy that's the face of the organization. I think that would be a huge mistake. But give me your thoughts. Tell me what you think. I'd like to hear what other people think about this. I have my own ideas on it, and like I say, I'm not angry about Dan Larimer never acknowledging us, or every time we get brought up in it, as if he's doing a YouTube as a guest on a YouTube channel, and somebody brings up challenge application or something like that, he rolls his eyes and acts like he doesn't know who we are. I don't care about that. I mean, that doesn't mean anything to me. That's not the purpose of what this is about. The purpose of what this is about is the fact that I see potential here, and I see that we're going in a really good direction. And I just don't want people to turn it off because they see that the same people are still being mentioned. I mean, Dan has a lot of good things he's done. One of the greatest things I think Dan Larimer has contributed to the blockchain is the fact that it's scalability. He recognized way early on that the blockchain at the speeds of Ethereum and Bitcoin were not going to accomplish much. And that was, to his credit, his contribution to the smart contract blockchain and, using instead of using proof of root, we're using proof of stake. This is Dan Larimer. So yeah, there's a lot of brilliance with Dan Larimer, but there's been a lot of stuff that's not brilliant. And some of the stuff that hasn't been brilliant is the fact that he's poor at management. He's poor at interacting with people. He's poor at being good at explaining things. He's poor at being good at I guess just being likable and being somebody that acts like they care about the other people that are involved with the organization. This is the things I think he lacks. And I think this is why we need to take as a community, we need to take a hard look at this and see. And it seems like, when he comes forth with stuff like, Fractally, or he comes forth with stuff like Mendel, he gets really rigid with some of his demands, like Fractally, wanting 11 block producers, wanting 5% inflation, all this stuff. This is pretty heavy stuff that he's asking for, that he's pretty much given either take it or leave it kind of attitude. I don't think that's the kind of attitude we need. We need people that are hungry and that are working forward to try to bring something about that gives people an opportunity, or gives this blockchain an opportunity to be successful. The other thing about Dan is, I don't know where Dan's at as far as, how much he really did prosper, how much he made. I mean, if you look at the like Wikipedia on Dan Larimer, he's one of the richest people in blockchain. So this guy's made a ton of money already. I think that was one of the things that really spoiled Block One when they raised $4 billion, and these guys all made out very well. At that point, they didn't really care about the community. I mean, all they were caring about is preserving the amount of money that they made. They made so much money that they wanted to protect that. And of course, the first thing they tried to do is get a security exchange waiver, because they didn't want the government, the feds, to come after him. So they were more concerned about that than they were about prospering the blockchain and making sure development took place in the blockchain and making sure that the people were being rewarded for doing something. They just totally ignored it, blew it off, didn't want anything to do with it. I guess they basically just wanted to separate themselves from everybody in the blockchain, because they had $4 billion and they wanted to maintain that and keep that as much of it as they can. I don't know how much Dan got of that $4 billion, how much he was paid, how much he has. I mean, Dan could be worth a lot of money. I don't think anybody's ever going to know, but he could be very, very, very wealthy right now at this point. So how hungry is he to come here and really, really dig in and work hard to make something happen? Maybe not. I mean, the only thing you're going to get from Dan is a reputation. Right now, the reputation is that he quits projects. He starts them and then he quits them. The other reputation that he has is that, he doesn't, even the guy like Crypto Dunker who interviewed him said, hey, the guy lacks communication skills. He doesn't have great communication skills. So, here's a guy who came on his channel and, he basically made another video about it. I think I covered it on one of my previous videos. It says, hey, this guy just isn't very, very, he's just not a very good guy as far as being able to communicate very well with other people. So yeah, that's what you got. You got a guy that's already very, very wealthy, doesn't really communicate well with other people, and doesn't have really a lot of motivation to do something because already he's been pretty successful and isn't looking for, he doesn't have the hunger factor like some of the rest of us do that still haven't as much time and effort as we put into this, haven't seen much in return. So this is what we're looking at. So let me take a look at the comments, see what we got. Never know how people are reacting to what I say. I'll actually take a look at it. So let's take a look at it right now and see what everybody's got to say. Okay, let's take a look. Meta Rick, how are you? Very good, thanks. How are you? Okay. Brock just spoke on industrial hemp and crypto. Yeah, I mean, Brock Pierce isn't a technical guy. Brock Pierce is going to talk about stuff besides the interactions of a blockchain and how to structure something for there to be some vehicle to give back to people that are creating on a blockchain, some way of setting up foundation or something like that. Brock Pierce isn't going to do that. That's going to be something Dan's going to do. So Dan never did any of that stuff, so it never got done. Okay. Metarick also said, that's part of the risk of investing. Yeah, that's for sure. Leaf Horton, I haven't heard from you for a while. Yep. How you doing? Down in Australia, I believe, still. They got wrecked. Yeah, Leaf, they got wrecked. Why don't you do street videos anymore? That's a good question. I want to cover that. People ask me, why don't I go on the street anymore? One of the reasons I don't go on the street anymore is because it's not as fun to go on the street because of COVID. People aren't running around, hanging around. So for the street that I did was State Street down in Carlsbad, California. It was a very kind of a party happy place where people would be running around drinking, and it would be fun because I'd be walking around doing a video and everybody would just kind of drunk. Yeah. We could probably make some changes there. It's talking about the challenge application. I mean, we're organized. What we're doing is what we do the best we can with challenge, but we have pretty much run challenge from our own bank account. We got a grant from the foundation when we first got started, and that's the first money that we received since we even started it. Any acknowledgement? We didn't even get any help in the media. We didn't get anybody to give us any help. Nothing. So yeah, we've been trying to do everything ourselves. So yeah, we're trying to keep things going. And if you want things to work better with our application, donate to our Pomelo grants because that's what's funding our organization. Let's see. Come on. Oh, I like this one. Someone allow me to, come on, man. You can't keep being butthurt about Dan forever. Dan has every opportunity in the world to come on this channel, to respond, to say whatever he likes to say. He's not going to do it. He doesn't care. And that's what my point is. He doesn't care. He doesn't care about, it's not only me, it's about a lot of people. And I don't think anybody's being butthurt about Dan. I'm not butthurt about Dan. I'm just saying at this point, Dan shouldn't be the focus of the project. He shouldn't be brought up in articles like Dan is back. I want to know, my thing is I'm not butthurt about Dan. I want to know some things about, why things ended up being the way they ended up being, why so many people got hurt. Like I said, if I had an opportunity to interview him, I would just ask him the same questions people ask me every day. And, this guy that's got, come on, make some more statements, dude. I want to hear what else you got to say. HFDH. I'm representing the people that listen to this channel. I'm not representing my thing. So when you say, come on, man, you can't keep being butthurt about Dan. Hey, it's not me being butthurt about Dan. I've read the comments on my channel. It's everybody that's watched this channel for the last 3 years, the last 4 years, of which you haven't been one of them because I don't know who you are. So have you lost any money in EOS? Did you put a development together? Did you put a team together? Did you go out there and spend some money from your own bank account putting together an application? Did you do any of that? Did you do any of that? But you come on my channel and say, yeah, you know, I should quit being butthurt. Well, why don't you get involved and find out how you feel after 3 years and have, you know, lose 25,000 bucks like somebody did in my last video that I had somebody come on and say, hey, I lost 25,000 bucks in this project. So, you know, when you put some skin in the game, then you can come on and make these kind of statements. But until you put some skin in the game, you got to keep your comments to yourself, okay? Because you haven't, you know, it's not your pain. It's never been your pain. You don't know what you're talking about. So, yeah, I'm not butthurt. I'm just telling you the facts. If you want to listen to the facts, you can hear the facts. If you don't want to hear the facts, then fine. Find another channel to listen to. It's not being butthurt. I'm just coming up with the plain truth of what's happened for the last 4 years. And if you want to accept that, then accept that. If you want to come on here and, you know, say whatever you want to say whatever you want to say. But put some skin in the game and let's see how well you get along. Most people, you know, they don't have to have too many things happen to them before they start whining around. And when you've dropped, you know, a couple $100,000 in an airdrop, like we did, when you've paid countless developers like we did, the guy that I just talked about, Randy Torres, who was a developer for us for a while, I think we paid him over $15,000. We paid that guy $15,000, you know, while he was developing for us. And I'll tell you what, he wasn't a very good developer. My opinion about it, but he wasn't a very good developer. You know, when you lay out 15, 20,000 bucks, 200,000 bucks, 300,000 bucks, when you lay out that kind of money, and then you say, well, you know, hey, you know, you're butthurt. No, you're not butthurt. You're pissed. I don't care about butthurt. It doesn't even come close to it, and you just get a little pissed after a while. So yeah, at this point in the game, I'm a little tired of this, especially when you see $4 billion that just materialized, just disappeared, and now you see this, you know, bullish exchange that they got built on other people's money, and nobody wants to take responsibility for what happened in the last 4 years. So that's what it is. So anyway, any other comments besides these? And oh, he has another one. Let's see what this guy's got to say again. It isn't an organization. Dan is just one member of the community. He made the software. This is his role. Your role is building. Oh man, this guy is so smart. I don't get your own YouTube channel, dude. Okay. You know, when you get a 5,000 subscribers and you've made 1,200 YouTube videos and, you know, you get all the people, you know, to watch you and say whatever you want to say, you know, and let me see. You guys, oh, he's the guy too. Since, you guys need to proofread your channel for challenge. I'll volunteer, or you can tip me with CHL tokens. Oh, thank you very much for your generosity. I appreciate it very much. I don't think we'll be taking advantage of your skills. I don't really like your attitude. So there. How's that for you? Don't be butthurt either. So anyway, anybody else with a comment? I would appreciate it. Oh, Frank says, thank you for keeping the challenge application alive. Well, thank you. Now, see, that's somebody that appreciates it. I've watched you from day one. I appreciate that too. Thank you very much. So yeah, and I don't know how people respond to this. I mean, you know, I don't know. Maybe Dan's a retaliatory guy. Maybe he'll take it out on me for coming on here and saying that he shouldn't be the face of the program. Maybe he, you know, he'll figure out some way to, you know, diss us or something like that. I don't know. I mean, he's way more powerful than I am. I mean, he's got way more money than I've got. He's got way more, you know, clout in the community than we have. I mean, basically, at this point in the game, nobody ever, you know, most of the people that I talk to, they don't even know who I am, or they don't even know that I even make these videos, because EOS has been so, it's been such a bad project. It's been such a poor project on a topic, and nobody even knows that you make the videos, because it's been so uninteresting. If I'd have been making Ethereum videos over the last 3 or 4 years, let me tell you what, I probably would have a few 100,000 subscribers, and our application would have probably done much better if we'd have been on Ethereum, even though it wouldn't be working because the Ethereum speeds are so slow. It wouldn't be working, but yeah, we had been way more successful. So yeah, you put this kind of work and this kind of effort into this kind of stuff, and then for all that, you don't even get even the simplest, what would you say? Just even the simplest acknowledgement. You just don't even get the simplest acknowledgement. It does get to be a little bit irritating. And like I say, I've made these videos for a long time, and most of the feedback I've gotten for the last few years has been negative. When you make a video and, all you get is people telling you how awful the project is, how they've lost money, and how disgusted they are with EOS, when you put your heart and soul in it. And the other thing about it is, for me, it's not just me. It's that I'm pretty much past my prime, and I've pretty much done the things I'm doing, and I've got a daughter that's very, very successful. We have plenty of business aside from the blockchain that would keep me very busy doing other things. I got involved with the blockchain and EOS because I was trying to help my son. So I'm doing this not because I care so much about it, or I'm so this is my life and soul. I'm doing it because I'm a father that cares about a child, my son, that got heavily involved in this, and I'm sticking up for him. So when I do these videos, or when I take a stand like I take today, I'm doing it for my son. I'm not doing it for myself, and I'm not doing it because I'm trying to be somebody that is trying to be noticed, or make something, make myself the attention, or make myself the thing. I'm doing it because I have a son that I love and care for very much, that I have seen struggle for this, and that's been my problem. My heartbreak has been for my child, for my son that has really, poured everything he had into this. I mean, he's been very successful in picking the right projects, buying Ethereum when it was just a few cents, buying Bitcoin when it was a few $100s, and making, doing very well for himself at a pretty young age, and having a very sizable amount of money. And he pretty much threw it all at EOS, trying to build something on the EOS blockchain with the challenge thing. And when I see that he got, picked on, or basically got caught up in this whole thing, and with Dan's ineptitude, and with Block One and the way that they handled the situation, how he got, 4 or 5 years of his life taken away from him. Yeah, that's when I start to get a little irritated and upset. And that's when someone comes in and says, well, you're just butthurt. No, I'm not just butthurt. I've had a child or son that's put his heart and soul into something for 4 years. And, at the end of it, everybody just says, well, it's not my fault. It's their fault. It's not my fault. It's the Security Exchange fault. It's not my fault. It's Block One. They wouldn't let me do anything. They wouldn't let me talk. I was going to do something, but it was all Block One, and it was all Security and Exchange Commission. They all kept me from doing anything. But no, now I want to get back involved, and now I want to be back involved. I want to be the face of the project. So yeah, that's what it's about. That's what I'm talking about. So, like I say, leave a comment below. Tell me what you think. I take them all. Just like I said, this guy that just read the comments thinks I'm butthurt. I took his comment, and I'll take yours too. So let me know what you think. And